All praises due to the Most High, family. We back with another Acres anime review. I just finished watching episode 2 of Snowball Earth. And family, we're gonna have to work on the names because we got introduced to a lot of new characters in this episode. But I'm enjoying this show so far. It's only 2 episodes in, but I'm enjoying this show so far. It's reminding me of so many other shows. I'm getting a little bit of Kaiju number 8, or is it Kaiju number 9? No, it's Kaiju number 8, right? I'm getting a little bit of that. I'm getting a little bit of Dr. Stone, right? Kaiju, because obviously we're fighting Kaiju, right? And we even had the Kaiju cleanup team, like in Kaiju number 8. I'm getting a little bit of Dr. Stone because, or at least I was at first, because it was like, dang, do we have to restart civilization? But it seems that we have stumbled upon civilization, right? I was also, dang, what was the other one I was getting? It'll come to me, but I'm enjoying this show, right? And so Tetsuo, he came to the realization, or he's like, wow, it's only been 10 years, the entire Earth. He thought that, oh, maybe it's just this city that's, doing an ice age, going through one. And then he checked his technology and seen that the whole globe is covered in ice, right? Hence the name of the show, Snowball Earth. And so that kind of upsets him for a while, and he's kind of just stuck, having flashbacks, really kind of like about his dad telling him that he's special and stuff. He's kind of just stuck, seemingly like in despair. And after a while, he just gets hungry enough to start moving. So he's like, all right, well, there should be rations. And so he gets some food, he gets some drip, right? Because it is cold outside, but he's drippy. And we start looking for people. And that's the other show it reminds me of, family. I knew it would come to me. This is also reminding me of Zom 100, because he's going through like this checklist type of concept, right? And Zom 100, it was more like a to-do list, or more like a bucket list. And this is more like a to-do list or a how-to list. But so that is just reminding me of that a little bit. And yeah. But so he's really just going off of this how to make friends manual. And what's crazy about this manual, family, is there are 777 steps. It's a manual on how to make friends. Are there that many steps on how to make friends? But so the first step is an encounter. It says get up out the house and go find somebody. And so that's what we do. And so we find someone immediately, but this is someone who froze until they were unalive, right? So there's an old frozen person who's no longer alive, is who we found first. But what he left behind for us was an excavator machine. So we got some wheels. We got a shovel on the end of it there. And so we riding around. We run around getting it. We are looking for people. Now we stumble across this like giant hole in the ground. And so Tetsuo thinks to himself like, oh, like if there is a civilization, he's convinced there's people down there. Why? Because it'd be warmer down there than it would be up where he's at, right? And so he's like planning to shout to them and confirm whether people are down there. But before he can do that, he's attacked by a kaiju, an intergalactic kaiju, right? And so what it really does is push him into the hole. And it turns out to be a kaiju lair, is what we find out later. But what it looks like before we find that out is it looks like just a street in the neighborhood, just frozen over. Just completely, like everything's frozen over, right? That's what it looks like. But it's a kaiju lair. Now, Tetsuo really just reverts back to his training, right? Like, what does he do best is fight kaiju. So he uses this excavator to fight the kaiju. For the most part, he's just using it as defense until the defense was broke. Like, he's using the shovel and he's maneuvering the shovel really to just keep the kaiju from eating him, right? He's like holding the mouth open and he's like swinging the shovel to, you know, like dodge the bite, right? After a while though, the shovel breaks. And so it's left with just, now it creates, you know, a shiv, like an excavator, a shiv on the excavator. And so as the kaiju lunges in for the final strike, Tetsuo just goes all in. Like, he really goes all in. It's either this or he's eaten, right? But he turns out to defeat the kaiju. Now, he is stuck in the kaiju's mouth, though. He went all in, and this was a short shiv. So what he really did was he went through the roof of the kaiju's mouth to, you know, to the top of its head. But its mouth was big enough to envelop him, right? So when he's climbing out of the defeated kaiju's mouth, we have people find him. Now, this girl so it's a group of 3. It's 2 girls and a guy, and the guy's pretty big, but they're referring to the taller girl. She's got like blonde, like white hair, and like she's really pale in color scheme, right? But they're calling her Captain, and then the guy in charge of the kaiju cleanup team, he was referring to her as the village's ace, right? So she's also obviously very important. We're gonna find out more about her, but she's got a little team. She was talking to this guy, the leader of the kaiju cleanup team, or the whole operation. His name was Nishimura, right? And so even the fellas that we ran into later, right? Because so when Tetsuo comes to, right? So he's confronted with the threesome with the ace leading them, right, as captain, and he passes out. Obviously, he just fought a kaiju, and then he found people for the first time, right, since he's been back. So he passes out. He comes to tied up, and he sees this whole kaiju cleanup operation, right, for the first time. Now he gets himself out of the rope, and then there's a little kid running around, you know. So as Tetsuo's kind of just absorbing what's going on, this kid bumps into him. He's like, oh, what a weirdo. The kid runs off, and Icicle is falling on top of him. So Tetsuo just does what he does. He grabs like a pole, something, right, to strike this, to give him reach and strike this Icicle falling. And so he saves the kid. And then the kid's, I guess his dad or something, comes and scolds him. And then the guy's like co-workers or like, you know, subordinates, they're like questioning Tetsuo, like, hey man, where you from? You're acting weird, bro. Like, you know, this, that, and the third. Tetsuo introduces himself. They make friends, or at least with those guys, right? Because he saved the kid, and they're like, well, we owe him, even if he is a shady guy, we don't know who he is. Like, we owe him a favor. Obviously, he just saved this kid. But they're saying like, hey, we're gonna have to report to Nishimura, right? So obviously, we're gonna have to cross that bridge next episode, or maybe even the episode after that, because what happened before we could get there was, while we're working on this defeated kaiju, another kaiju with hands this time though grabs the defeated kaiju and then just starts shouting at us, right? And so Tetsuo is thinking, oh, this is way different from any kaiju I've ever seen. So obviously there's some mutation evolution going on that's crazy, but this one has arms and its head looks different. All praises due to the Most High, family. Peace and love.